We are all looking for something to give our life meaning, and some people find it more difficult than others to find. I think through Kung Fu, I found the meaning of my life, and I'm very grateful and happy for that. I'm MJ, the modern Shaolin.
I'm Cici, I'm the Kung Fu mom.
I'm T, the young warrior.
Kung Fu Wushu is the perfect blend between good and bad, negative and positive, yin and yang. It's about learning to concentrate and channel your negative energy for positivity. Now, the world is so much more open given social media, and the power and wisdom of Kung Fu can be spread across the world. I'm very happy to be one of the individuals to help spread this culture, which has helped change my life and in turn can help change other people's lives too. My journey started like a lot of young children. Growing up, I absolutely loved action movies, in particular martial art movies. I fell in love with Bruce Lee, Jackie Chan, Jet Li. I had posters all over my walls. It wasn't until I was 11 years old when I saw a show called The Wheel of Life, which is a show by the Shaolin monks. They were touring the world. And this was the first time I had seen Kung Fu live on stage in front of me. I saw things like finger handstands, iron bars being broken across the head, flying acrobatic movements, things I thought were not real from the movies. And now seeing them firsthand, it gave me a dream to want to become a Shaolin warrior. When I was 16, I actually left school. I grew up in London. I left school and decided to move to China, to the Shaolin temple, where I trained and lived like a Shaolin warrior. Waking up every day, early hours of the morning, running up a mountain, crawling back down on my hands and knees, doing headstands on concrete for hours and hours on end. Moving to China at a young age, I learned a lot about becoming an adult whilst living at the temple. And to be honest, it wasn't just about Kung Fu, it was a way of life which I'd never seen before. Growing up in London, I had quite a big ego and didn't have a wide opinion of the world because I hadn't seen much. Going to China, I learned a lot about myself. We had to do all sorts of activities within training and outside of training, which I just wasn't used to. Things like fetching water, collecting water, washing our clothes by hand. The very simple, basic day-to-day routines really touched me. And I think in the West, we can quite often take a lot for granted, especially as young children. And this can hold us back from achieving our goals and realizing our potential. So for me, Kung Fu was not just about learning to fight. Instead, it was about learning to live. I met the love of my life out in the Shaolin temple as well.
I encountered MJ when I was actually just 18 years old in a Kung Fu city called Dengfeng. We actually met in the restaurant. My major was English back then, so I thought I want to have an English conversation with him, let's have a chat. I called him over and he got beautiful, most beautiful blue eyes. Then I told my friend in Chinese, saying, wow, 她的眼睛好漂亮. But I didn't realize he understood Chinese, and his face just turned red. And that's when I realized, oh, that's a bit awkward. He understood what I said. And yeah, that's how we met.
My wife fell pregnant and we decided the best option was to move to London, which is where I grew up, and open a temple, another vision and goal of mine, to create a martial arts school that offered the community and people of the West an opportunity to learn the sort of things that I had to go to China to learn. Our son, who's 13, he was born in the same year as the temple, the same year the temple was founded, and extraordinarily, he's now starting his own wheel. He grew up very much like I did, loving Kung Fu, big influences such as Dragon Ball and other martial art cartoons, and he's now living his dream, and the wheel of life continues to turn as we continue to share with the world our passion.
weeks ago, we actually went to Guinness World Record, and it was amazing. It was a really cool experience, and we met loads of other people, and
in 3, 2, 1, go!
I smashed it. I did 18 handsprings on an elevated platform, and I think that would be a very hard record to beat. Ever since I've been born, I've kind of been around martial arts all the time. There's always someone there, and obviously that brought me to join in. And I've practiced and trained since I was around 1, and I've been around it, and all my friends do Kung Fu. So it's like a little bit of a race to see who's the best, and we always train, and it's very fun. My dad is my dad, so it ain't too strict, it ain't too not strict. It's more fun to train, so he just tells me what to do, I do it, and then we train. We just play around together and learn new stuff together. My mum's quite fun, she's quite chill. She can be a bit lazy sometimes, but yeah, she's amazing. She's very supportive, and everything I do, she's always there.
Who is your idol?
My idol is my dad. My dad can do everything to an amazing standard. He teaches me a lot of the stuff that I know, my flips, my tricks, my drawing. He teaches me a lot of the stuff.
Martial arts in China is very much a way of life, opposed to it being a hobby or sport as it's normally seen here in the UK and a large part of the world. So what I wanted to do different was create a full-time centre to allow people to indulge and immerse themselves as they would in China. What we hope to achieve is bring in culture and wisdom which is perhaps unknown to the West, but has so much beauty and power, and give that to the communities here to help them develop and grow.